How to become a confident believer. Keynotes. Embrace your unique identity. 2. Build your foundation on truth, not trends. 3. Cultivate daily habits that reinforce belief. 4. Face doubt with courage, not shame. 5. Surround yourself with faith-fueling relationships. 6. Speak and live what you believe. 7. Let failure refine, not define you. Anchor yourself in a vision bigger than you. Introduction. Let me ask you a question that might seem simple, but I want you to really think about it. What does confidence look like? We often picture someone walking into a room like they own it, speaking with certainty, making bold moves. But what if I told you that the truest form of confidence doesn't start in a room full of people? It starts in a quiet place where you ask yourself who you are and what you believe. Confidence, the lasting kind, begins when you believe in something deeper than applause or success. It begins when you believe in truth. We live in a world full of noise, opinions flying from every direction, filters on every photo, trends changing by the hour. It's easy to think that being confident means keeping up. But here's the truth that often gets buried. Confidence doesn't come from how loud your voice is. It comes from how anchored your soul is. And a confident believer isn't someone who has all the answers, but someone who walks with conviction even when the answers aren't clear. Some of us have been made to feel that belief must always be private, like it's something we whisper in corners or only bring out on Sundays. But belief, real belief, was never meant to be hidden. It's meant to be lived out loud, not in arrogance, but in quiet strength, in how we speak, in how we show up, in how we love. Becoming a confident believer is not about perfection, it's about consistency, about living with both courage and humility in a world desperate for something real. So today, we're not going to talk about surface-level confidence, we're going deeper. We're talking about what it means to walk through life with a fire in your soul that doesn't burn out when you face criticism, confusion, or setbacks. We're diving into 8 practical, transformative truths that will help you become a confident believer, not just for you, but for the people around you who are waiting for someone to believe like that. Tell it. Embrace your unique identity. The first and most powerful step toward becoming a confident believer is this. You must embrace your unique identity. That means really seeing yourself, not the version you present online, not the one people expect, but the real, raw, God-crafted you. There is nothing more disarming to fear than authenticity. Confidence doesn't come from trying to be someone else. It comes from being the someone you were created to be. Let's be honest. Most of us spend way too much energy comparing ourselves to others. We scroll through highlight reels and wonder why our lives feel like behind-the-scenes bloopers. But here's a liberating truth. You weren't created to copy. You were created to contribute. Your story, your voice, your experiences, they matter. And the more you embrace that, the more your confidence grows from the inside out. Now, this kind of embracing isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily practice. It's waking up and saying, I'm not here to impress. I'm here to express. It's standing firm in your identity, even when people misunderstand or reject you. Because let's be clear, confidence is not the absence of opposition. It's the presence of clarity. And clarity about who you are and whose you are is what keeps you standing when storms hit. So who are you? You're not your resume. You're not your mistakes. You're not even your accomplishments. You are someone deeply loved, purposefully made, and uniquely equipped to carry a message the world needs. Your quirks, your scars, your perspective, all of it is part of the design. There is no version of you that's an accident. But here's the kicker. Embracing your identity also means embracing your limitations. You don't have to be everything to everyone. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't need a 5-year plan if you have a 5-second step of faith. When you accept both your strengths and your struggles, you make room for growth. And confidence grows in rooms where grace is louder than pressure. What does this look like practically? It looks like pausing the comparison game, unfollowing accounts that make you feel like you're not enough, saying no to things that don't align with your values. It means speaking up when something matters to you, even if your voice shakes. It means letting go of the need to be impressive and choosing instead to be impactful. And here's the result. When you embrace your unique identity, you stop striving and start serving. You stop performing and start living. You realize that confidence isn't about proving anything, it's about believing something. You become the kind of person who walks into a room, not needing to dominate it, but simply bringing light to it. And people notice, not because you're the loudest, but because you're the most real. Embracing your identity won't make you invincible, but it will make you unshakable. Because the moment you decide to stand as you are, you give others the permission to do the same. That's what confident belief looks like. It's not just about you. It's about showing up so others can too. So stand tall in your skin, walk boldly in your story, and never apologize for the light you carry. That's how a confident believer moves. Confidence begins the moment you stop trying to become a carbon copy of someone else. Embracing your unique identity means recognizing that your life, your voice, your story matters, not because it's perfect, but because it's real. The world tries to sell sameness as safety, but true belief thrives in authenticity. You weren't designed to fit into someone else's mold. You were designed to reflect a purpose only you can fulfill. This identity includes your strengths, your past experiences, your scars, and your quirks. When you see all of that not as flaws, but as features of your divine design, your confidence starts to rise naturally. It's not loud, it's not arrogant. It's a quiet knowing, I don't have to be them, I'm called to be me. That's when your belief becomes unshakable because it's no longer borrowed, it's owned. 2. Build your foundation on truth, not trends. Trends are temporary. Truth is timeless. And the moment your belief is rooted in what's trending, you've already lost your ground. Confident believers build on truth, not popularity, not convenience, and definitely not public approval. The truth becomes the compass that guides your decisions, even when the world pulls in a different direction. What's truth? It's the set of values, convictions, and principles that align with your deepest sense of right and wrong. For many, it's a faith rooted in something greater than self, God calling purpose. When your belief is grounded in that kind of truth, you stop chasing and start leading. You don't get swayed by every cultural wave or social media storm because you've already decided who you are and what you stand for.
4. Cultivate daily habits that reinforce belief.
You don't become confident by accident. Confidence is the byproduct of discipline. Just like physical strength comes from consistent training, spiritual and emotional strength comes from intentional habits. Daily actions build the mental and spiritual muscle that help you carry your beliefs with conviction, even when life gets tough. So what does that look like? Start with small, consistent habits, prayer or meditation in the morning, journaling your thoughts and fears, reading truth-filled content, speaking affirmations rooted in belief, and practicing gratitude. These aren't just feel-good routines. They are confidence anchors. Every habit that reinforces your belief becomes a brick in the foundation of your confidence. Face doubt with courage, not shame. Here's something most people don't tell you. Even the strongest believers have doubts. Confidence doesn't mean you never question. It means you're not afraid to wrestle with the questions. Doubt isn't the enemy of belief. Fear of facing doubt is. Confident believers lean into those uncomfortable moments, ask the hard questions, and trust that truth will still stand. Shame tries to make you hide your questions. It whispers, if you really believed, you wouldn't feel this way. But courage says, ask anyway, wrestle anyway, grow anyway. When you stop shaming your uncertainty, you create space for deeper clarity. Real belief is forged in the fire of doubt, not destroyed by it. Be honest with your questions and confident in your pursuit of answers. 5. Surround yourself with faith-fueling relationships. Confidence is contagious. Who you surround yourself with either fans the flame of your belief or smothers it. You need people who remind you of who you are when you forget. People who call you higher, who listen without judgment and speak life when all you see is lack. Faith-fueling relationships are not always the loudest or most visible. Sometimes it's the quiet text that says, keep going, you've got this. Or the late-night conversation where someone tells you you're not alone. If you want to walk confidently in belief, curate your circle. Invest in relationships that align with your values and challenge you to grow. Distance yourself from cynicism, gossip, and passive negativity. The right people will multiply your belief and protect it. Speak and live what you believe. What you believe should never stay silent in your heart. It should show up in your words and actions. Confidence becomes visible when belief moves from internal conviction to external expression. It's not about shouting your faith or being performative. It's about living in a way that reflects your values even when no one's watching. Are your choices aligned with your beliefs? Do your conversations carry grace, integrity, and courage? Do people feel peace and purpose in your presence? When belief becomes behavior, you no longer have to convince people with words. They'll see it in how you live. And the more you practice living out your values, the more your confidence grows because you know you're not just talking, you're walking in truth. 7. Let failure refine, not define you. Confidence isn't built in success. It's tested and refined in failure. Every setback, mistake, or misstep becomes a chance to reinforce your belief if you let it. Confident believers don't crumble under failure. They learn from it. They reflect, realign, and rise. The problem is we often let failure define us. We take a bad decision and make it our identity. But hear this, failure is feedback, not your final chapter. When you let failure teach you instead of shame you, you step into the kind of confidence that can't be faked. You become someone who knows how to fall and still rise. Someone who knows that confidence isn't being unbreakable, but being unafraid of breaking and coming back stronger. Anchor yourself in a vision bigger than you. A confident believer is someone who doesn't just live for themselves. They are anchored in something bigger, a cause, a calling, a vision. When your life is about more than just survival or personal gain, your confidence becomes conviction. You're not just existing, you're advancing something that matters. Vision gives you clarity in confusion. It gives you endurance in pressure. It reminds you why you started when you feel like quitting. When your belief is connected to purpose, your confidence takes root. You stop living reactional and start living intentionally. So ask yourself, what do I want my life to represent? What legacy do I want to leave? The answers to those questions will fuel a confidence that can withstand storms. Conclusion. So here's the bottom line. Becoming a confident believer isn't about being louder, smarter, or more put together than everyone else. It's about being anchored in identity, in truth, in purpose. Confidence is the fruit of belief, not the other way around. And belief, real, living, breathing belief, requires more than agreement. It requires embodiment. You don't need to have it all figured out, but you do need to be willing to show up every single day with honesty, with intention, with faith. Doubts will come, distractions will try to derail you. But when your confidence is built on something deeper than applause or affirmation, you will not be moved. You are not made to live small. You are made to carry light. You are made to reflect something eternal in a world chasing the temporary. Walk out of here today knowing this. You are already equipped. You are already chosen. And belief is not just something you have, it's something you live. Thank you for giving me your time today. Thank you for showing up, not just in body, but in heart. I hope you leave this space feeling less pressure to impress and more courage to believe. Not perfectly, but confidently. Thank you.